Be aware that I have the low B string, but I don't use it at all. So whenever you look at this string, if you look at this string, just be aware that I don't use it at all. Alright, this alternate picking lick, it starts off on the 22nd fret with my little finger, and I started with a downstroke. So I play 22 with my little, 22 with my ring finger, and 19 with my index finger. And then I move into the B string with my little finger starting on the 22nd fret again. So it's 22nd with my little finger, long finger on the 20th, and index finger on the 19th. And then I move into the next pattern, and I do this with my little finger. So I now play the 20th fret with my little finger, and then with my ring finger playing 19, and index finger playing 17. And I move into the G string playing 19 with my little finger, 18 with my ring finger, and 16 with my index finger. And then I move into the D string with my little finger playing 19, and with my long finger I play 17 and index finger on the 16th. And I move that back again all the way up to the G string and into the B string, playing the same patterns again. And then I play those again to 1917, and then I move into the next pattern, also on the B string with my little finger here. And so when I play 19, 17, and 15, and then I move into the G string with my little finger here, playing 18, and 16 and 14, and then down to the D string playing 17, 16, and 14, and this is with my little finger, ring finger, and index finger. And then into the A string playing with my little finger playing 17, 16 and 14, and this is little finger, ring finger, index finger, and I play those notes up again, and into the D string playing 14, 16, 17, and into the G string playing 14, 16 and 18. Once I hit that 18 with my little finger, then I play back again, and I move into the next pattern with my little finger once again, and then I play 16, 14, 12, and I move into the D string, playing those same notes in this. I use my little finger, ring finger, and index finger, but if you prefer to use your long finger on the middle note, in this case the 14th fret, just by all means do this, and remember to use the same fingering always. Okay, and then I move into the D string and play the same notes. Again, I use my little finger, ring finger, and index finger, and I play 16, 14, 12. And I do the same, exactly the same on the A string, 16, 14, 12, and then all the way down to the low E string, playing 15, 14, 12. And then I move up again to, and I use my little finger, ring finger, index finger, and I move into the A string again, 12, 14, 16. And then on the D string I play 12, 14 and 16, and then I move into the final pattern. So I play back again to the 12, 14 and 12, and then with my little finger moving in here to the 14th with my little finger, down to the 12th with my long finger, and index finger on the 11th. And I move down to the A string, playing with my little finger 14th fret, and then the 12th with my ring finger, and indexing on the 10th fret. And I play those exactly same notes on the E string, same fingering also. And then I move back again to 12 and 14, and I also play 10, 12, 14 on the A string. And on the D string I play 11, 12 and 14, and I do the exact same on the G string. But once I have done that, then I move back to the D string on the 11th fret with my index finger. 12 with my long and little finger on the 14th. And I move into the G string again, playing the same notes again, but now I move into the B string with my index finger playing the 12th fret, index finger and ring finger, then ring finger on the 14th fret, and the little finger on the 15th here on the B string. And then finally on the high E string I play with my index finger to the 12th fret, ring finger on the 14th and little finger on the 15th. And I play one extra note, one extra picking stroke, sliding into the 17th, ending it up there. This legato lick is a fun combination of a whole tone scale, a chromatic scale, and then the D major scale. So I start up way up on the 23rd fret, playing one picking stroke, and that's all I play with the right hand in this lick. Then I pull off. I use all four fingers, so there's no discussion in which fingers I'm going to use where. So I pull off from the 23rd fret with my little finger to the 21st and the 19th and the 17th, and with the index finger I slide down to the 15th and hammer on to the 17th, 19th and 21st, pulling those notes off again, sliding into the 13th and I hammer on to 15, 17, 19, pulling those notes off again. And then I slide into the 12th fret and I start the chromatic part, hammering on to the 13th, 14th, 15th and pulling those notes off again. And then I move into the B string on the 16th fret, hammering on here with my little finger, pulling off to the 15th, 14th, 13th, and I play those notes once again. And I do that on the complete same frets on the G string, 16, 15, 14, 13. And I repeat it, and then I slide into the 12th fret, hammering on to the 13th, 14th, 15th again. And then I slide down to the 11th, and then I hammer on to the 12th, 14th and 16th. When I'm back again, I slide from the 11th into the 9th, and I hammer on down to the 11th and 12th and 14th, pulling off again, sliding down to the 9th, hammering on to the to the 7th, hammering on to the 9th, 11th and 12th, pulling off again, and then I end it on the D string, hammering on to the, so I have the 11th, pulling off to the 9th, 7th and 5th and sliding into the 4th. In this E flat tapping triad is really a challenge for a lot of things, also for the tapping hand, because I tap with my long and my little finger, and I keep the pick between the thumb and the index finger just to be able to move between techniques. So that's a general thing I do unless I use all four fingers. So in this case I hammer on with my index finger on the A string, 6th fret, and then with the little finger to the 10th fret. And then I tap the 11th, the 13th fret on the A string with my index finger on the right hand. And then I use my little finger, I tap the 18th fret. And you really have to do this a million times because you need to be able to play this actually without seeing whatever you're doing, because the little finger you won't be able to, it's not visible from where I'm sitting, pretty much, almost. So after this I move my left hand into the B string, so I skip both the D and G string, and then I hammer on with my index finger to the 8th fret and the little finger to the 11th fret. And then after that hammer on with my little finger, I tap with my long finger again, of the right hand, the 16th fret on the B string, and with the little finger, the 20th fret. And here comes one of the insane parts of this lick, is that I use my left hand to move up on the high E string to hammer on to the 18th fret on the high E string. And after that it hammer on to with the little finger to the 23rd fret and pull off again. And then after I've pulled off to the index finger here, I actually start with my right hand and start the tapping again, pulling off from the little finger 20th fret to the 16th fret with a long finger. And in that time I need to be able to go down here with the left hand to be able to do to be able to play with the little and index finger on the 11th fret and 8th fret, also on the B string. And then after this I skip the 2 strings again and move into the A string with my tapping hand, tapping with my little finger on the 18th fret and pulling off to the long finger to the 13th fret. And then I pull that off to the 10th fret with my little finger and pulling that off to the 6th fret. Here in the sweep picking tapping, 8-finger tapping lick, I play with the pick on the fretboard to be as close as possible to the tapping part. And I play also this sweep picking pattern, maybe a little unorthodox, so with my little finger starting on the E major. So let me go through it with you. I start with the little finger on the 12th fret, low E string, and I use the pick to play a downstroke, and then I move into the A string with the ring finger, 11th fret, and my index finger on the 9th fret, D string, and then I use my long finger to move to roll over both the G and B string, 9th fret. And then I move into the high E string with the index finger, and what I do here is I start using all the fingers of the left hand. I hammer on with the left hand, long and ring and little finger to the 9th, 11th and 12th fret. After I've done this, what happens is I actually slide the pick on the index finger up, way up on the index finger with the thumb to be able to tap with all 4 fingers. This is a technique that I invented to be able to combine 2 very extreme techniques, 8-finger tapping and sweep picking. So what I do is then I tap the 14th fret with my right hand on the high E string, 14th fret, 16th, 17th, and then with the little finger I tap the 19th fret. And I pull those notes off again. And what I do once I'm back here on the 7th fret on the index finger, I slide way up to the 12th fret and I do a new set of hammer-ons to the 14th, 16th and 17th fret with the left hand fingers. And then I move my tapping hand up and I keep the thumb here with the pick. I keep that still right here, and then I actually have to play on the 24th fret, tap on that fret on the 23rd and 24th, which is again a bit of a doozy. And I tap here the 19th with the index, the 21st with my long finger, and then the ring finger goes to the 23rd and the little finger to the 24th. And then I pull off again. And once those notes are pulled off, I begin the next inversion in the sweep picking triad. So once those are pulled off, I roll my index, the left hand index finger down to the B string, 12th fret and the long finger to the 13th fret G string, ring finger over the D and A string, 14th fret, and the little finger to the 16th fret low E string, and finishing off with my index finger on the 12th fret. Let's go through this madness. It's the key is in D minor, and these arpeggios pertains to the harmonic minor in D. So it's a bunch of sweep picking patterns, and the first one is D minor, and I start way up on the 22nd fret. And I play an upstroke with my pick, and I pull off with my little finger to the 17th fret, to the index finger. And then I move into the B string with my long finger, 18th fret, and then with my ring finger to the G string, 19th fret. And then this is a deli of a pickle, this way of playing sweep picking, but this works for me. And I'm just going to explain you that way, and then I'm going to show you an alternative afterwards. So after the G string with my ring finger, I move into the D string with my index finger, playing the 19th fret. So 19th with the ring finger G string, 19th with the index finger D string. So you can see that I actually have to move the index finger up here. And when you do this, there is a possibility that the ring finger will slide into the next fret. So you really have to be aware that you don't get this kind of thing. So you have to let go of the ring finger at the same time as you move the index finger into the D string. So after that, I use my long finger on the 20th fret A string and the little finger 22nd fret low E string, moving back again. After this, I do a grace note slide with the little finger from the 22nd fret down to the 17th fret. Then I'm into the next inversion of the same arpeggio, so we're still in D minor. My little finger is now on the 17th fret, pulling off to the 13th fret with the index finger, and this is another upstroke. Pulling off to the 13th, and then I move with my ring finger into the 15th fret B string, and then I move up with the to the G string with my long finger, 14th fret, and I use my ring finger on the 15th fret D string. These are all upstrokes, and then I move into the A string with my little finger, 17th fret, and my index finger, 12th fret, and I hammer on, moving back again. And this is yet again one of those sweep picking patterns where there's more than one possibility of a fingering, so you just have to decide whatever works best for your hand. And also, preferably also the one where you get the quickest results, which is a nice thing. Back when I'm back to the high E string, then I move into the 15th fret with my little finger. Now I'm into the G minor. It goes to the G minor, which is then the fourth mode of the harmonic minor. And this is the same pattern as I started on, but just in D. So in this case, we play an upstroke on the 15th fret with my little finger, pulling off to the 10th fret index finger, and I move into the B string, my long finger again, ring finger on the G string, 12th fret, and then we do that crazy thing again, where we move the index finger up to the 12th fret D string, and then the long finger to the 13th fret A string, and little finger 15th fret low E string. And what I do regarding the pick is, once I've played the final note, in this case the E string, I continue my upstrokes until that ends, and then I move down on the next note on the down movement. So and then back again to the A string, 13th, index finger, no, long finger, and then index finger on the 12th fret, and then the ring finger goes in again here, 12th fret G string, 11th on the B, 10, and 15 on the high E string. And I just want to show you the alternative. This is, I guess this is the more popular one. So if that works best for you to play 13 and 10 on the A string instead of using the low E, just go ahead and do that. So now I move into the next inversion, and I do that little grace note slide again once I reach the 15th fret. So I'm now in the next inversion of the G minor, and I'm with my little finger is now on the 10th fret, pulling off to the 6th fret, little finger to the index finger, moving into the B string with the ring finger, 8th fret, and the G string with the long finger, 7th fret, D string with the ring finger, 8th fret, little finger on the A string, 10th fret, and index also on the A string but on the 5th fret, and I hammer on back again to the 10th fret. Moving in again to the 10th, to the 8th on the D, 7 on the G, 8 on the B, 6, and 10th on the E. And then we move into the diminished patterns, and that is a substitute for it's actually a substitute for the dominant, which would then be the A flat or G sharp, whatever you choose to use. Not that I'm not using the dominant in this case, but it is actually a substitute. So I play the 10th fret with my little finger, pulling off to the 7th fret with my index finger. And I move in with my long finger. This is what works for me. This fingering works really good for me, and I've seen several different versions of ideas for fingering. So choose whatever works for you. And I move into the B string, long finger, 9th fret, and ring finger, 10th fret on the G string. Back again. And then I play the next inversion. No grace notes for this, or slides for this one. So the next inversion is the little finger on the 13th fret, and pulling off to the 10th fret, index finger. Playing the same shape again. And we can continue the same shape because the diminished is built up of minor thirds. Completely. It's a symmetrical scale it's built from. So we can play the same shape, minor thirds apart. And then finally I jump into the next inversion. This version of the diminished 7 is a bit of a doozy. I find it a little bit hard to play. I think it takes some getting used to because of the movement from the G to the D string especially, and back again from the D to the G. But you'll see what it takes for you to get up to speed. So an upstroke on the 16th fret, little finger pulling off to the 13th, and then I use my ring finger on the 15th fret B string, and my long finger 16th fret G string, and then my little finger on the 18th fret D string, and I pull that off to the 15th fret, same string, D string, and then I use my long finger on the A string, 17th fret, and I move back again to the 15th fret D string, hammering on to the 18th, and then I have to use the ring finger on the 16th fret G string and the long finger on the 15th fret B, index on the 13th. This part took quite some work for me, to get it up to speed and make a nice sound, hitting all the right notes. But I wanted the 6 tuplets. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as you do in all the other patterns. So that it needed that shape to be able to do this. And then finally we move into the dominant. Right here we have a 4-note arpeggio instead of the triads. So I add a few notes along the way and not just play hammer-ons and pull-offs on the final and first string. It's a bit of a new way, or another way to play arpeggio, sweep picking arpeggios, which I really cover in my advanced arpeggios video. But let's go through it. I play an upstroke on the 21st fret, little finger on the high E string, pulling off to the 17th fret. And then I move into the B string with my long finger on the 20th fret and my ring finger to the G string, 21st fret. And I pull that off to the index finger, 18th fret. So I have 2 notes on the high E string and on the G string. And then I move into the D string, playing the 7th with my long finger, 21st fret, pulling off to the 17th. And I move in with my long finger to the A string, 19th fret, and finally my little finger on the 21st fret on the low E string and 17th fret with my index finger. Hammering on again and moving down to the A string, long finger to the 19th, and then playing that 7th on the D string, hammering on from the index finger to the long finger, 17th to the 19th, and then I move into the G string, 18th fret with my index finger, hammering on to the 21st with my ring finger, and then the long finger on the 20th fret B string, and finally index finger and little finger on the high E string, 17th to the 21st, and I repeat the B and G string again, and then ending it on the D. And you can see, so I have 2 notes on the high E string, the G, D, and the low E string. So it also is an odd number of notes instead of all the 6 tuplets. But I still play 6 tuplets, but I have to repeat the high, the E, G, E, B, and G string to be able to hit the 6 tuplets again, to be able to end on a place that sounds more natural.